You'll have fun with these true wireless stereo earbuds. Let's check them out. Dave Taylor here, and I'm checking out more wireless stereo earbuds. This time I'm looking at these. These are the EarFun Air TWS, or True Wireless Stereo Earbuds, and you know what? They're pretty sweet and they're at a good price point. Let's look at them. So, first off, one thing that I really like to highlight is that they do not have the crossover gesture. So the earbud that's on the right side goes in your right ear, and the left one, left ear, similar. And what's nice is they have sensors in them, so when you pull them out of the case, they pair, and when they go in your ear, they turn on. Take them out of your ear and your music pauses, which is really nice. Now, they're powered by Bluetooth 5.0 and they have essentially zero latency. So if you want to use them while you're watching video off a tablet or computer or phone, works well. I was watching some baseball, and when we saw the commentators, we actually got to have everything in sync. That worked out really nicely. So that technology is called Capacitive Touch. And like I said, it has in-ear detection, but it also means that it's really easy to trigger this with different tap sequences. So some of them, they have buttons, and you have to like push in your ear to get the buttons to activate, but this is just a gentle touch. And as you can see here, it's pretty complicated. So here's the playing music options. And there's quite a few of them. Taps, double taps, hold on the left ear, hold on the right ear. It works, but you're gonna have to study it. And then if you have a phone call, it's a whole nother set of options. Again, this is something where you might just wanna have it in front of you and try different things out to see what happens. Or you can just control it all from your mobile device and don't worry about all the tap sequences. It's okay. If you want to get to your voice assistant, just do a triple tap and you're talking to Google Assistant or Siri or I guess Cortana for a little while, or Alexa, but all of those, you know, it's really going to come down to one or two, which is what we've sort of all expected. Now, in terms of codecs, this has AAC and SBC, so it's going to sound really nice on the vast majority of devices. It does not support aptX, so if you have an Android phone with aptX circuitry, it's not going to be able to use that for the codec, but honestly, AAC is so common and so popular, obviously in all of the iPhones and iPads, but in a lot of other devices too, that I think you'll find that that won't be an issue. Now, for charging, the earbuds themselves hold about a 7-hour charge, and then the base unit actually gives you 4 more charges, so that's about 28 hours. Obviously, that depends on how loud your music is. If you listen to at ear-splitting volume, which is not recommended, then you're going to get less battery life. So if your battery life is super important, bring the volume down a little bit and you'll get a little more out of it. If you put it in the case for 10 minutes, you will get an additional 2 hours, assuming the case is not dead. And then to charge the case, you can either use USB-C, which is on the bottom, or what I really like is, and this is actually the OtterBox Qi wireless charging pad, put this on there, and you can see by the light, right? So it's charging wirelessly. Very nice. Now, in terms of dimensions, these are Apple AirPods Pro, and you can see they're roughly about the same size. It's a little thicker, the EarFun one, but the AirPods are just a smidge taller. So they might actually be the same cubic capacity. Not sure people measure cubic capacity, but be that as it may. So that's the charging setup. They are Ipx7 Waterproof, though the case isn't. So what that means is if you have these and you're out on a run and it starts raining or it falls out and falls into a puddle, you have no problems. The case, however, I'm not sure that I do not recommend that you get the case wet or immersed in water. It's not designed for that, but I don't think that's an issue. I think it's really the earbuds that you need to have waterproof. So that's pretty important. Now, a couple more things to talk about, one of which is obviously the audio quality. We'll get to that in a second. I will say, it just said connected to my phone. I will say they work really well for phone calls. I was actually pretty startled. And you know, usually these little earbuds don't do a very good job with phone calls because there's such a distance between the earbud microphone and your voice. But with this extending out, it actually helps quite a bit. And they have 4 microphones in their noise reduction circuitry for phone calls. And I tried that, and I walked around into different noisy environments, and it did a pretty decent job of getting rid of that background noise. So this is unusual for me. I rarely have nice things to say about voice quality on earbuds, but the EarFun, they actually did a nice job with that. So props to them. That's really important. And even if you don't take very many calls, it's nice to know if you're listening to music and a call comes in, you don't have to scramble and pull the ear pod out and put your phone up to your ear. Just take the call. It's going to work fine. So in the box, let's see, it's a nice box. They won actually an IFI Design Award, and at the Consumer Electronics Show this year, they won a notable mention. And let's see, in the box, it's boxes and boxes. This is like some sort of game, right? So this is documentation. There is a way to open it, though it's not immediately obvious. Here we go. So documentation, little guarantee there. And then let's see, the box primarily is the space for the earbuds and the case, but there's another box at the bottom. And this box is pretty important because, any guesses what it's going to have in here? I'm thinking a charging cable and ear tips. Let's find out. So we have in here a charging cable, USB 3 to USB-C. How many of these do you need? But obviously it's important. And then in the little bag, it comes with 3 other sizes of ear tips. So plus the ones that are already there, that gives you 4 different sizes of ear tips. And I will tell you, take the time to try out different sizes to get the ones that work best for your ears. This is also an unusual situation where I pulled them right out and put them in my ears, and they were the right size. So they have done a lot of work with that engineering. And do they stay in? Well, there's a really annoying ad I keep seeing on YouTube where they're shaking their head madly, and I have music too, but you know what? I can shake my head too, and look, they don't fall out. So that's good. They have a nice fit. They actually are quite comfortable. I was listening to them for quite a few hours, just auditioning them with different types of music. Right now I'm listening to the soundtrack to Wonder Woman, so lots of drama and really good, which brings us to the sound. So perfect segue, right? So they sound really good. I was very surprised, especially at the price point. There's so many mediocre sounding earbuds in the $50 to $75 range, and these are not those. These sound really good. They have a crispness and a clarity and a good sound stage and nice bass, not overpowering. Nothing's really crushing anything else on the musical spectrum. And that clarity gives you the ability to identify instruments. The sound stage lets you figure out where they are. Put these in, put on your favorite music, close your eyes, and you might be surprised just how good they sound considering they're just little earbuds. And of course, you know, they're following in the footsteps of Apple, who has spent $1 billion, however much they've spent, designing ear tips and earbuds, and they are pretty similar. Not exactly the same. Apple has a little less on the top here, but you know what? These are a whole heck of a lot of money, and this is a whole heck of a lot not a lot of money. Which leads to the question, all right, Dave, then how much are they? And before I tell you the price, let me ask if you can click on that like button, and more importantly perhaps, go ahead and click or tap on that subscribe button. Really appreciate when you subscribe to my channel, and having more subscribers gives me access and clout to get more gear and to give you more honest and straightforward reviews, because I always call it as I see it, and if they do things wrong, I will tell you, because I don't want you to be a disappointed consumer. Luckily, EarFun is not that company. They've really got this right. This is, I don't know how many generations of earbuds they've made, but this is quite a distance down that road, and they've really figured it all out. These are really a solid option. These are the EarFun Air TWS earbuds. They come in black or white, and they're $60.99 at Amazon.com. But when I checked, there was a 10% coupon, which would bring these down to about $55 total, which is a pretty screaming deal, particularly when you compare them to these. What are these, $200, $220, something like that? So these obviously don't have active noise cancellation, but otherwise I would say they stand up quite credibly to the Apple AirPods Pro. And that might not even be their goal, but I will tell you, there's a whole lot to like and a whole lot to appreciate with these EarFun Air. So I'm going to let it charge up, and I will catch you in my next video.